We engineer modern medicine down to the molecule. A single pill represents billions of dollars in research and chemical perfection. But the moment it leaves the sterile environment of the lab, it enters a chaotic, brutal global obstacle course. The chemical purity of a vaccine and the digital data tracking its journey are now equally critical to a patient's outcome. This chart shows the annual financial damage caused by temperature fluctuations in the cold chain. Every year, the pharmaceutical industry loses $35 billion because sensitive drugs get too hot or too cold in transit. Today, manufacturers must navigate a collision of global supply chain disruptions, geopolitical shifts, and volatile weather patterns to reach the clinic. To stop the billion-dollar fake drug market, regulators have stepped in. Under the FDA's Drug Supply Chain Security Act, the rule is absolute. If a drug isn't fully digitally traceable, it legally does not exist. Let's track a highly sensitive, life-saving vaccine batch that has just cleared production at an API factory in India. Its destination is a hospital in Chicago, 8,000 miles away. Between the factory floor and the patient's arm lie thousands of environmental variables, physical handoffs, and potential points of failure. Survival in this environment requires wrapping the medicine in an invisible suit of digital armor. Long before this vaccine physically moves an inch, artificial intelligence builds a digital twin, a perfect mathematical simulation of the entire global supply chain. In our scenario, a massive weather system is brewing in the Atlantic Ocean, threatening to swallow the cargo ship carrying our batch. Instead of waiting for the delay, the AI uses the digital twin to instantly run simulations. It calculates 1,000 different routing options to bypass the danger. The system locks in the safest alternative path before the physical box is ever loaded onto a vehicle. By locking in solutions before the shipment departs, companies avoid the expensive, reactive scrambles that traditionally follow major transit delays. With the route clear, the vaccine begins its journey. But it isn't strapped to standard wood. It sits on a smart pallet. Embedded Internet of Things sensors form an active surveillance grid around the medicine. They constantly measure vibration, light exposure, and strict fractional changes in temperature. Imagine the delivery truck hits a slick road and takes a violent, aggressive turn. The physical shock alone risks shattering the delicate vials inside. That impact instantly triggers a digital failsafe. A real-time alert hits the quality assurance manager's tablet, forcing a mandatory safety check of the cargo before the vehicle reaches its destination. By turning passive cargo into active, self-reporting entities, these sensors prevent multi-million-dollar batches of compromised medicine from reaching patients. Our shipment reaches U.S. Customs. Historically, this complex international handoff relied on easily manipulated paper logs, a major vulnerability exploited by the counterfeit drug market. Blockchain provides a solution to this vulnerability by acting as a decentralized, unhackable ledger. This creates a perfect chain of custody. Every single handoff from the origin factory to the destination hospital gets a permanent, verifiable digital fingerprint. Because this ledger cannot be altered retroactively by anyone, the authenticity of the medicine is mathematically guaranteed. Blockchain eliminates the counterfeit crisis by replacing the fragile concept of human trust with absolute data certainty. The vaccine reaches the final regional distribution hub. We are now in the era of lights-out logistics, where humans no longer physically handle the product. Handing the pick-and-pack process entirely over to robots is driven by the strict demand for zero-error quality assurance, not a desire to reduce labor costs. Thanks to that precision, our vaccine batch flawlessly reaches the patient in Chicago, exactly as potent as the second it left India. For global manufacturers, digital traceability has become a mandatory requirement for maintaining regulatory compliance and ensuring drug safety. Perfectly tracking medicine is only the baseline. The next evolutionary step is changing when we decide to ship it. Welcome to predictive shipping. Advanced AI models are now analyzing complex public data, ranging from incoming weather patterns to social media trends. Instead of waiting for hospital orders, the AI can detect rising mentions of flu symptoms in a specific city. It proactively dispatches flu medication days before the localized outbreak even reaches its peak. Logistics managers now operate with the certainty of knowing exactly where a shipment is and confirming its chemical authenticity in real time. Which leaves us with a final question. As these systems become perfectly autonomous, do we fully trust a machine to deliver life-saving medicine, or does survival still require the human touch?